Hello and welcome back to Some Climbing News, this show where I talk about a sport where the points don't matter because no one even knows what they mean anyway. Can you describe to me how hard V5 is supposed to be without saying it's harder than V4? I didn't think so. I can't either. It's impossible. But anyways, this week we have Janja Garnbret on-sighting hard stuff, some new climbing shoe announcements from Evolv, some more YouTube videos from Mellow and Wedge climbing, and more from the Red River Gorge, whose Climbers Coalition is back in the news yet again, but for completely different reasons this time. So sit back, relax, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this sort of stuff, and let's get into it. And starting us off with James Pearson in the news today as he gets a repeat of Giuliano Cameroni's 8C/V15 boulder Mystic River in Brione. Now look, I don't enjoy dealing with absolutes when it comes to aesthetics. I'm not a Sith of climbing, if you will, but sometimes you just see a rock and think, ugh, that's ugly. Terranola, right? But other times you get Mystic River. It's, you know, swirly. It's like poetry or art. It's more like art. And look, I don't know if any of the people watching this show are not climbers, but if you are not a climber and you're wondering if there really are people who look at rocks and think, ooh, that's pretty, I want to climb it, there 100% are. And if you are a climber and you are watching this while quietly nodding to yourself in agreement because, well, you know, look at that. Well, all I can say is, one of us, one of us, one of us. It's good to have you here. Now, James Pearson is 39 years old, meaning there's still hope for a lot of us. And he sent this thing after about 10 sessions over a span of 2 years. And if you don't know who James Pearson is, well, strap in, because there's a lot to talk about with this guy. But essentially, James Pearson became famous, or maybe I should say infamous, after his route, the Walk of Life, was downgraded from E12, at the time the hardest thing in the world, to E9 by Dave McLeod. And then a bunch of other of his routes, same thing happened to them. Let's translate that to non-British terms. It's like if Adam Ondra had said silence is 515D, and then Stefano Ghisolfi came in and was like, bro, it's like soft 515A at most. What are you even doing? And then the next thing you know, all the other Ondra FAs like Change or even La Duradura were downgraded too, and everyone was like, you know, this Ondra guy, we thought he was awesome, but it turns out he sucks at climbing, you know, fuck this guy. Well, that is what happened to James. He was ostracized from the UK climbing world, basically, and was one of climbing's most hated people until he slowly got his reputation back over years and years of hard work, and until a couple of years ago when he completed his redemption arc by climbing what is probably one of, if not the hardest trad routes in the world, Bon Voyage. E12. There's a movie about it called The Walk of Life. The link to the trailer is in the description. Go check it out if you can. Highly recommend it. Now, as for Mystic River, James apparently had a whole journey with this thing. The boulder is in a river, meaning there were a few times when James found he couldn't try it at all because the bank was completely submerged, and he even had to spend 2 days moving sand and rocks in order to build a landing on top of which he could rest his pads. But seriously, amazing to see one of climbing's most interesting people getting a sand as hard as this one. Congratulations to James. Links to everything is in the description as always. And honestly, I'd love to know your thoughts on his whole situation, his whole story. Do you think people should be ostracized for overgrading when they are professional climbers, or was what he did a little overblown? Did he deserve that much controversy? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Then, of course, Janja Garnbret in the news for on-sighting her third ever 8C route, one called Popolny MRK, or Popolny Mark. I'm so fucked, dude. I'm gonna have to learn Slovenian in order to pronounce any of this shit. Okay, so I apologize in advance, but this route is in a crag in Slovenia called Misha Peš, Misha something. Maybe. I don't know. Some please send me help. Okay, so look, Ondra commented on Janja's post saying that this route is especially hard, and Janja seems to agree, saying she feels especially proud of this ascent and that she considers it her hardest on-site so far. As a reminder, Janja made headlines back in 2021 when she became the first woman in the world to on-site 8C, a feat she did with back-to-back ascents of both Fisheye and American Hustle, two routes in Oliana, Spain. As this is Janja's third on-site, she is now neck and neck with Laura Rogora, the Italian climber who made headlines just last week for this exact same thing. Now, I don't think there is any question on anyone's minds that Janja is more than capable of sending some of, if not the hardest routes and boulders in the world. I mean, look, if she constantly seems to be in a completely different league from the rest of her competitors when she's out doing comps, and any time she has ever gone outdoors, she's just destroyed every boulder and every route in her path. Like, seriously, she did Bugeleisen sit in half an hour. If you can send a notoriously stout 8C/V15 boulder in half an hour, then you can climb 9A. You just can. This isn't a question of if, it's a question of when. And that answer seems to boil down to whenever she gets bored with winning comps, which I don't know about you, but personally, I kind of hope that's soon. Like, don't get me wrong, it's amazing to see Janja float up ridiculous comp boulders, but god damn, do I want that Dura first female ascent. Please, like that'd be so sick. I'll settle for like Alphane or something if I have to, but please just go on rock, Janja, please. But of course, congratulations to Janja. Always awesome to hear she's out there crushing it. I'll link to her Bugeleisen send in the description because if you haven't seen it in full, you honestly have to. It's such a cool climb. And like you just do. She makes it look way too easy too. It's insanely impressive. And more Elias Iagnemma this week, who has repeated the Chironico Jimmy Webb first ascent Ephyra, an 8C+/V16. Now, Ephyra has had mixed grading in the past, with most ascensionists hesitating to call it 8C+. Jimmy Webb had trouble suggesting a grade, and Will Bosey even went as far as to suggest a slash grade for the boulder, meaning it's safe to say the thing probably lands on the softer side of V16/8C+. Ephyra, if you don't know, is on the same boulder as the ultra-famous and notoriously hard mantle Dave Graham's From Dirt Grows the Flowers, 8C/V15, which, you know, I don't know if the name has some other meaning or not, but there's just something about it that I love. I don't know what it is or why, but it's such a good name to me for some reason. From Dirt Grows the Flowers. It's great name. Back to Elias and Ephyra. Reportedly, the boulder took Elias only 9 days total, 3 of which, he says, were on days with terrible conditions, like super high humidity. This ascent should put Elias firmly in the conversation for one of the best boulderers in the world if he wasn't already there. I mean, he's just climbing everything right now. Congratulations to Elias. Link in the description to Jimmy Webb's Ephyra ascent. Jimmy is and will always be my personal favorite mellow character. He's the best, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise. I'll fight you. I don't care. I don't care. And then we have Giuliano Cameroni in the news again for having sent the Daniel Woods boulder Forlow, an 8C/V15 boulder in Val Bavona. If you feel like you haven't seen or heard a thing about Giuliano in a while, it's for a good reason. The guy has been recovering from a serious knee surgery for the past 7 months. Now, there doesn't seem to be any mention as to why Giuliano had to have the surgery in the first place, though a note in his Instagram page does say that his knee still isn't at 100%, and his last mention of said surgery in a previous post said a full recovery would likely take another 6 more months to heal. So presumably, he still has about 5 months left before he's back to full health, which honestly makes sending 8C with a busted up knee that much more impressive. I mean, climbers are wild, dude. It's crazy, dude. I apologize for that. All hopes for a speedy recovery to Jewel. I think everyone in the climbing world misses his insane FAs. I mean, if we're talking about people with incredible vision for what's possible on rock, he's gotta be up there, right? I'm putting both Giuliano and Daniel Send of Forlow down in the description. Check them out. They're both on Mellow, of course. They're awesome. It's just awesome to see people going that hard. I don't know why I added more stuff. Who cares? And speaking of Daniel Woods, seems someone got in a little bit of trouble for something they posted on Instagram. Again. Or maybe not really in trouble. We don't know. It's definitely not the worst thing he's ever posted. If anyone remembers the whole pull-ups kissing thing, that was weird. Sorry for bringing that back up. But it seems Daniel may have accidentally leaked a July release date for the new Evolv Phantom Pro. Now, for anyone unaware, before Daniel worked with Evolv, he was sponsored by La Sportiva, Watch his send of Hypnotized Minds. He's wearing Solutions in that clip. Now, according to Daniel, the Solution is the best shoe he has ever worn. But apparently, this new Phantom Pro surpasses them by quite a bit. Is that just pure marketing? Who the hell knows? I personally have never worn Evolv or Sportiva. I've always been a 5'10 kind of guy, which I guess now makes me an unparalleled kind of person. But Teams, Daniel, Teams, not Solutions, Teams are the best shoe ever. I cry about them every night. I don't even want to talk about it. Excuse me, I'm fine. Just fuck you, Adidas. Okay, what did you do to my baby? Why would you do that? Did you just destroy them? Look what they did. I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me there. But look, everyone who I've ever talked to about the Phantom has been super stoked on it. So, I mean, it remains to be seen. Are they going to topple the Solution, winning the crown for best climbing shoe ever? I don't know. Though I would love to know your thoughts on that. What's your favorite brand? Do you wear Solutions? Have you worn the Phantoms? What are your thoughts? And then we're off to YouTube land, where people upload stuff for views and little else, and I look like a hypocrite for calling them out while doing the exact same thing. I'm kidding. I am a hypocrite. Epic TV did a little spotlight on the new Scarpa Drago XTs. If you're the kind of person with a wide toe box and a small heel, looks like those might be the shoes for you. So give them a shot, because why not? Go check out their video. It's kind of interesting. Magnus Mitbo is out doing more military challenges. His channel barely has anything to do with climbing at this point, but mentioning him seems to be good for viewers. So, you know, there you go. Eat it up, algorithm. Eat. Go have it. Yummy. The Bouldering Bobats have put out a video of them trying a Burden of Dreams replica at every angle, because why not? It seems fun. It's cool to see the differences in all of the different angles. It's good fun. It's brought to you by Squarespace, of course. And now Wedge Climbing has put out another awesome video of Jim Pope sending cool stuff on the British coast. Honestly, Wedge is probably one of the best channels out there for outdoor videos other than Mellow. So definitely go check them out if you haven't done so yet. And then Stefano Ghisolfi is out trying to add another few moves to Excalibur, because of course he is. I mean, Excalibur is already 9B+, and it does start kind of high up the rock. So I guess this is basically like adding an 8B+ / V14 sit start. See, I knew that route was just a boulder. It's V19, it's 9B with a capital letter B as in boulder. But jokes aside, Stefano does seem to think this could possibly be the world's first ever 9C+, so a full grade harder than Silence. Though, I mean, he did use Darth Grader to say that, and he seemed not super confident, which it's fair. So who knows, man? Exciting news on the horizon. Could be interesting to see what happens, especially if Andra ever decides to go pay that thing another visit and actually sends it. You guys think a great jump like that could be possible? Let me know in the comments below. I'm super interested to hear what you think. And finally, the Red River Gorge Climbing Coalition is back in the news, but this time not for probably having the government shut down their DEI programs, but instead for some happier news. Now, I realize I may not have explained what the Red River Gorge Climbing Coalition is in my last video, so here goes a quick one. There's this place called the Red River Gorge in Kentucky, and back in 1996, the coalition was formed as an advocacy group that was meant to help protect climbing in the area. See, at the time, the land where people were climbing was part of the Daniel Boone National Forest, and as such was subject to the jurisdiction of the U.S. Forest Service. Now, as a result of the Rock Climbing Management Guide that the Forest Service issued in 1996, and which was received negatively by most climbers, the Red River Gorge Climbers Coalition was formed in the hopes of both rewriting said Rock Climbing Management Guide and educating climbers on proper ethics in order to ensure the future of climbing at the Red. Now, the RRGCC has announced that they have successfully acquired another 718 more acres of land, a 10-year-long negotiation for which they paid approximately $1.7 million and which they are hoping to open to the public quite soon. Of course, since the RRGCC's main interest is in providing sustainable climbing to their community, they are first waiting to build sustainable infrastructure before they open the areas to everyone. This acquisition has added the Crags, Monster Wall, Outer Space, Cornflake, like the venue, Pandemic Wall, and Devil's Kitchen, for which the group is looking to build trails, parking lots, belay bases, and other forms of sustainable infrastructure. In order to do so, however, they do need donations. So of course, I'll be providing a link in the description down below if you would like to help out. And that was some climbing news. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed watching me talk aggressively at you about rocks. My name, you'll probably find out eventually, and I will see you next week.